literature like every or all or only these, almost invariably they are incorrect.
Took me a while.
The one thing I'd like to just comment on was one of your things that I don't think follow, one of the points you made, I don't believe follow from your research at all, and that is that you should start your understanding of the students and base it on their needs. And I'd be very nervous hiring an electrician from BCIT if I thought that you based the curriculum on their needs. I couldn't give two hoots about their needs. What I would want is somebody who knows how to wire my house and fix any electrical problems I have. So I think that's a big mistake too, and one that we keep pushing all the time, this idea of student-centered learning. I think we have to get away from that notion as well and start looking at the learning system. Is what are the needs of society in having good tradespeople? This is far more important, I believe, for your institution than the needs of the individual student. And we have to take a systematic approach. I'm not saying that the needs of the student are irrelevant, but again, it's this idea all or everything in education. Oh, we've got to be student-centered. Well, no, you don't have to be student-centered, and in many cases, it's the wrong approach to learning in a particular institution. It's my 2 cents.
Thanks, Rory. Well, no, again, all these things need to be in balance, and I agree. It would be a mistake to design a curriculum, design a program entirely on based on the needs of the student, and not take into account anything else. But again, that's the danger with all of these things, is they tend to become, people accept them as the defining, as the all and every, they don't look at them in balance. And I think, so when I say we need to look at learning needs, or student needs, it's really an attempt to balance the other side, which is saying we should treat this generation as one big homogeneous group. So it's just to be more, to recognize that the students are a heterogeneous group and they have different needs. There are obviously other things that we have to consider when we're designing programs.
Hi, I was just wondering if, based on your observations and your research, there was one recent technology that does jump out as being useful, perhaps because it's not based on these kinds of generalizations or presuppositions about the net generation.
Sorry,
I mean, is there a new technology that jumps out at you as being as an example of something that is useful from your point of view, that is popular, perhaps because it doesn't reflect these kinds of assumptions about the new generation of students?
That's a difficult, I mean, I'm not suggesting, I think all of the new technologies have some potential value in learning, so I don't want to.
Okay, so there's nothing that really jumps. I mean, for example, I think some people are trying out social networking software and finding, well, it's not really that useful because they're not as much into that as we assumed, and B, they can do it somewhere else. So I'm just wondering if there's some other technology that makes you say, well, here's an example of how technology use corresponds to the right picture of our students.
I guess the answer is no. Yeah. But really what I'm saying is that we should be choosing the technologies to support the learning outcomes that we have in our programs, not based on some generalized notion of who the learner is. So social networking tools might be very valuable in certain programs, but not in others. I mean, one of the things that we did at BCIT that was a mistake is that we were pushing very hard blogs and wikis and other social networking type of tools in the trades area, and it just didn't make any sense because that wasn't what they were there for. They were there for a very short period of time. They wanted to get their credential and get out of there. And so that was an inappropriate application of that technology, but it was very useful in some other programs.
So useful technologies are highly variegated then?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
Good morning, and thank you very much for your talk. I just wanted to focus on one little tiny minute part, and unfortunately in areas of shooting galleries, that's what happens, is the part about immediate feedback and how students have, I have seen over the past, I've been teaching for about 16 years, how they have become more accustomed or more demanding to get that feedback. So I have, to respond, switched to a computerized system of evaluating the students only so that when they click on submit, they get